Alright guys, welcome back. It's me, Christian. Today's topic: why getting back together with an ex or giving them a second chance is never worth it. Because guys, the second time around, it will never work out. To prove the point, I have a very good email in which this particular guy was with his ex for 6 years and he gave her chance after chance, but the situation got worse and worse and led to the actual breakup. Like 100%. So with that said, let's get right into it. Hey Christian, my name's Travis. So not using Jimmy today, using his real name. Because when I spoke to him, he gave me permission to use his real name. So Travis it is. I've watched a lot of your videos for the past few months as I've been going through a breakup and thought I would share my story and get your thoughts. This is going to be a long one. Sorry about it, but I just got to get as much as I can out of my system. Fair enough. So my ex and I dated for 6 years, 5 of which we lived together. We met when I was 25 and she was 21, even though she told me she was 23. She's already lying. Everything was great at first, but there were some red flags I ignored. As I said in my previous video, it's all in the red flags. She was into me, so much so, when my sister first met her, she said she seemed overly obsessed with me. And she would also get jealous when my sister and I spent time, or if I paid more attention to my sister than her. Caused a few arguments at the beginning of living together. Let's break the first paragraph down, shall we? So he's with her for 6 years and they spent living together for 5. First mistake, you move in after 1 year. You don't know someone in 1 year of dating them. You may find them very attractive, and at the beginning things might be going very well. But that is not a requisite to move in. You move in with someone when you are planning on spending your life together, you have children, or you've spent many, many years dating. Like if you said, we've been together for like 3-4 years, and then you moved in the last 2 years, then it would have made sense. Because when you move in too soon with a woman, sometimes she's going to take you for granted. And especially if that relationship becomes emotionally or physically abusive or toxic, and now you've got property, and you're both on the name, the mortgage, that can cause more trouble. That can be more difficult to split after that because there's a lot of paperwork involved and you don't want to be in that situation because it's trickier, right? It's always best you have your place, you have her place, you spend a lot of time together until it moves into something more serious, until you truly get to know who they are, right? Now, he's not wrong about these red flags. Very, very first one. His sister said when she first met his ex that she was overly obsessed with him. Guys, why is it a problem that a woman you start dating is overly obsessed with you at the beginning? Because a woman that shows that much interest, that is moving too fast, too soon, isn't stable. The only types of women that are going to be rushing into a relationship are going to be women with a low self-esteem, gold diggers or women who are settling for you to use you for security, financial support, right? Or women that are narcissistic that are using you for narcissistic supply. And the reason why is pretty simple. A woman with a healthy self-esteem, okay, a woman that is confident, that is happy, complete, and enjoys her life, is going to take it very slow when she meets a man. But why? For a few reasons. Number one, gorgeous women get hit on all the time. Guys, women, wherever they go, whether it's college, work, walking their dog, at the gym, at the beach, on a holiday, online, at the grocery store, they're always going to have men attempting to flirt with them, hitting on them, because beauty gets noticed. Gorgeous women know this very well. Look at the amount of simps and dudes that women have friends at. Women have a lot of options when it comes to men, the more beautiful they are. It's like a kid going into a candy shop. You're not just going to want to pick out one treat. You want to get as many as you can, or at least pick the best one. And it's going to be difficult to choose. So a woman that has options with men is always going to take it slow. And another reason is because a woman being the weaker sex knows if she gets involved with the wrong guy, he can physically beat her, he can emotionally abuse her or take advantage of her, and she really won't be able to defend herself. Or if she gets pregnant by the wrong man and he leaves, there's not going to be much she can do. So a woman knows in order to protect herself, she's going to take it slow before she moves into a relationship. She's going to want to get to know, are we compatible? In terms of long-term relationship, does he have the same values as me? Would he make a good husband or a good father? A good woman is always going to evaluate these things when she starts dating. So when you see a girl being overly obsessive, moving too quick too soon, red flag. Another thing he mentioned, she would get jealous when he spends time with his sister. So obviously Travis is a guy who comes from a family, right, in which he values his loved ones. He's spending time with his sibling, which is his sister. And why is this girl getting jealous of his sister? It's not like she's some random girl. I mean, unless there's some incest that Travis wasn't telling us about, then I've got no reason to think why this girl will be jealous, other than if she was narcissistic and doesn't want him to be close to anyone other than her. Okay? Narcissistic individuals will try and isolate you from your loved ones so they can control you and manipulate you. Be very careful. So let's carry on with the next paragraph. To break it down, we moved in together in 2016, and in the fall of 2018, she became very distant and almost seemed annoyed at me for whatever I did, and our dog had gotten together as well. We moved in too quick too soon, limerence kind of falls away, the relationship kind of gets stale, she gets comfortable, you're not really someone she really wants. Now, some of her bad behavior starts to come out. So they moved in together and they also have a dog. That's cute. She said her and her friend, who is female, were planning a trip to the Bahamas together. How convenient. We got into an argument because I felt she never wanted to plan trips with me, so I voiced my opinion. I said I didn't care if she went, I wanted to have a great time. I just would like us to plan something together as well. She agreed. Very rational statement. You know, you don't go on any trips with your girl, and yet she's going on one with a friend. What's that all about? However, guys, this is why I say all the time, you want to be the lead in the relationship. Men lead, women follow. So you must court her. You, as the man, should set the plans, make the dates. Women just want to show up and have fun with you. And a lot of guys, in this case, what Travis could have done is, if you really wanted to go on a trip with her, you plan it out. Don't expect the woman to sit there and make the plans for you. Okay? You have to sometimes take initiative as the man. Be assertive, be the one to take the first step, because that's what being a leader means, to take the first step. More men need to do that, guys. You need to court and date your woman and be the one to make the plans, right? Now, it doesn't mean you do it all the time. You should see her make some type of initiative. But as a man, you lead the relationship. You take it where you want it to go. If you want to take her to a nice restaurant, you take her. If you want to go and plan some type of experience that you guys can enjoy, or go to a venue together, go because you want to take her there, because you want to have fun together. Don't always sit there and expect her to take you by the hand and tell you where to go. All right? Carrying on. She agreed. Then right before the trip, while talking to her on the phone, she said she wanted to take a break or she went on this trip. I told her, if you want to take a break, let's just break up. Because I felt like that was BS to suddenly take a break right before you leave the country. Absolutely. She agreed to break up, but cried a lot on the phone about it and said I was overreacting. I didn't talk to the whole trip, although she was posting on things on social media, in my opinion, clearly trying to see if I would look at them, because she would never post them on Snapchat, which she never used, but knows I did. She came back, we had minimal contact, and then one day I got home from work and she was just sleeping in the bed and kind of acted like nothing happened. I don't know what was going on in my head, but I kind of just let it happen, and she never left. Let's break it down, guys. So, you break up with her because you know something wasn't right. And guys, and I've said this before, if all of a sudden your girl wants to disappear, goes on a trip somewhere, in this case, and now all of a sudden she coincidentally wants a break, what do you think she's doing? She wanted a break to give herself a free pass. In other words, she goes to the Bahamas, she meets a guy she really likes there, she has fun. She comes back, doesn't really feel like it worked out with that guy. She can get back together with you and not feel guilty because it was a break. And if she goes out, meets a guy, and he's higher value than Travis, and she likes him more, and she stays with that guy, when she gets back, she doesn't have to feel guilty because she told Travis that they were on a break. So regardless, she tries to give herself a way out, which is why she said she wanted a break. And Travis did the right thing by breaking up, but then he made a mistake by basically just letting her walk back in like a lost puppy. He just gets home from work one day and then there she is. She just walks right back in as if nothing happened. No communication, no reconciliation, nothing. That's not good. So this is the first time he took her back. Not a peep, right? It just happened as if, well, like he said, as if she'd never left. Around the same time, in 2019, she started exhibiting the same behavior, saying she wanted a break again. Oh, I wonder where's she going this time? And that I had been treating her badly by not giving her enough attention and taking her for granted. I believed her and felt really bad and didn't want her to leave, but she did anyways. She took some belongings but left most of her stuff at the house, just in case she wanted to come back again, right? To which she would come and go as she pleased, mainly when I was at work. A few months go by, and I'm sending her flowers and telling her I miss her, and I will change, and all that shit you're not supposed to do. Well, the good thing is about Travis is that he's honest to admit what mistakes he's made. Because, guys, you never do that. When a woman walks away from you, and especially in this case, when realistically speaking, the breakup had really happened the year prior in 2018. So a year later, she comes back as if nothing happened. She's basically walking all over him. She feels like, I don't really want this guy anymore. She wants her break. And then off she goes. And what does Travis do? He starts begging and pleading. The old Disney stuff you see on TV, right? Sending her flowers, telling her that he misses her and that he will change for her. Guys, you don't ever change for a woman. You change for yourself, right? Unless you've done something extremely bad to hurt her and that was your fault and it's something you can improve on and you're in it together in a relationship, sure, you can improve in that case. But she already left. And now he's doing a bit of simping. But obviously he had emotions involved, so he has a bias towards her. Objectively speaking, I can say this because I'm from the outside looking in. He had made an emotional investment with her. He didn't want to give up so easy. And he fell for the old simping. One night, a month or two later, she ended up showing up really drunk while I'm laying in bed, and I had to help her shower and put her to bed. Oh, she just turns up again, right? The next morning, she thanked me for taking care of her and then continued to stay. So what I'm seeing here, his ex lost so much respect for him that she felt like, I can walk in and out whenever I want. I can basically have fun with whatever man I want, and they're not taking me seriously because they know I'm not good quality. But I'll go back to the old Travis. That's basically what she was doing. And he let her, right? Whatever you tolerate will grow. And in this case, he's tolerating the hell out of his ex, and the respect she has for him drops and drops and drops. She feels like she can come and go, like it's just a buffet, right? And that's basically what she's doing to him. In 2020, starting in the late summer, I started noticing she was not home very much. Always going to Austin, pronouncing it correctly, I believe that's in Texas, to see her friends, going to her parents, and always coming home pretty late at night. I never complained or interrogated her as I trusted her, probably more than I'd ever trusted a girl. One night, I noticed a hickey on her boob as I was playing video games with my friends and asked her about it. She said I had given it to her, but I didn't remember doing that. But I just kind of let it go. Well, I mean, Travis is here saying that he never complained because he trusted her more than he never trusted a girl. The reality is, You should have stopped trusting this woman the moment she wanted a break going out with a girl to the Bahamas. That should have been the first time you should have lost trust in her. That's when it all should have really ended. Right? So, she comes back into his life. Now for the second time, she's disappearing, staying out late. Now a hickey appears on her. And when he asks her about it, she tells him that he gave it to her. But he has no recollection of that memory because he didn't do it. Some other guy did. Then one night, she was texting someone while she was sitting next to me. And when I went to look at her phone, she quickly placed it face down on her lap. I asked who she was texting because that seemed awful suspicious, to which she replied, her friend wanted to get her nails done. I also just let it go. So basically, that's 2 strikes. She comes home, there's a hickey on her. She says, you gave it to her. Now she's hiding her phone. Look, unless it's your birthday the next day and she's on Amazon ordering a present for you or preparing a surprise birthday with your friends, I mean, why is she hiding? If she's hiding a phone, there's something she must be hiding. Proof is in the pudding. She's talking to another guy. But Travis let it go. At this point, we were working together because she needed a job after her unemployment ran out after the lockdown from COVID. Things were good at first, but then I noticed she started showing those same behaviors as before. When someone does something consistently and it becomes a pattern, you got to trust that because that is an indication of who they are. Right? Behavior tells you how people feel about themselves as well, right? Pay attention to that. One day, she would want us to ride together, and the next day, when I rode with her, she would act annoyed. I said, fine, tomorrow I'll drive myself. Then she would cry and say, don't you want to ride with me? It was just really hot and cold behavior, and I felt like I could never do anything right to please her. She's emotionally unstable. She started treating me like I was stupid and she knew everything. Would say I don't listen to her, etc. So what I'm saying here is a woman has lost respect for this man. Travis took her back twice, and after each one of those times that he gave her another chance, her behavior has gotten worse. She just walked back in like it's a buffet, right? Eat all you want. That's basically what she's been doing. He didn't hold her accountable or responsible for her behavior or her actions towards him. He didn't make her submit. He didn't call her out on her bad behavior. So she feels like she can do what she wants. A strong man with morals and principles is never going to let a woman walk all over him. And when you as a man are emotionally invested with a woman and you don't know how to maintain a healthy dynamic or how to lead the relationship as a man should, this is the stuff that's going to happen. You will lead with your emotions, not your rationale. And you'll become the doormat in that relationship. And women are hardwired to lose all respect and attraction for weak men. Women are attracted to a man's strength. She must respect you more than she loves you. And from what I can see with Travis, this woman lost all respect for him. She's talking to him almost like he's a little boy. She's talking down to him, right, with almost like contempt, right? She started treating me like I was stupid and she knew everything. What's that about? She shouldn't be treating you like that. And she's up and down. She's emotionally unstable as well. So one moment she's finding the car to drive with him, then she's not. Then he's like, all right, I'll drive myself. Pretty logical answer. Then she'll cry and say, don't you want to ride with me? So now she's emotionally manipulating him and seeing what she can get away with, because she's been doing it basically since she went to the Bahamas. And guys, this is what happens when you get back together with an ex or you give them that second or third chance. They will take you for granted. They will come back only out of pity because they're lonely, and at least they'll get some comfort with you. That's it. That's reality. Let's carry on. 3 weeks prior to the final breakup, she was sleeping one night and I was still awake. I noticed she had a pillow between her legs and grinding on it. As I looked over in amazement, she verbally said out loud, she said in her sleep, "I'm talking to someone else." Nice. I couldn't believe my ears and went to sleep in disbelief. I didn't want to confront her in the morning as we had worked that day, but I didn't want to ruin both our days. But at lunch, she was just acting so annoyed and just a complete bitch to me that I couldn't take it any longer and told her what she had said in her sleep the previous night. I told her one person could only take so much and I couldn't take it anymore. She cried and denied she was talking to anyone and that she was just dreaming that someone had interrupted her while talking and she was telling them she was talking to someone else. She got on her knees in the parking lot and begged me not to break up with her and that she needed me. I held my ground and had a friend take me home because we had rode together to work. She showed up around midnight drunk and came into my room and took a shower. I told her if she's going to stay here tonight, go sleep in the guest room and tomorrow move all your shit out. So this time around, Travis is finally getting the courage now to let her go. I went to sleep. The next morning, when I woke up, she was waiting for me at the kitchen table with a note she'd wrote and wanted to read it to me. She said she was depressed and that she would try harder on our relationship and wanted to work it out together. I forgave her. I love this girl so much, Christian, that thinking about it now, I literally had amnesia when it came to the thought of cheating. Like I seriously forgot why I had broken up with her in the first place. I would just push every sign and her talking in her sleep down to the bottom of my subconscious, and those thoughts would never arise again. So he let his emotions get the best of him, and he broke up with her again, and she begged him back, got on her knees, "I'm so sorry," writes him a note, and basically says how she's depressed and now she's going to try hard in the relationship. So, again, guys, this is 3 strikes now. This is the 3rd time he took her back. She's talking in her sleep about some other guy, right? And with everything that she was doing, you already know she was involved with some other dude. And she gets on her knees in the parking lot saying that she needs it. So she needed Travis so much that she wanted to go to the Bahamas and have fun on a break. She needed Travis so much that she was hiding her phone from him. And she was coming home with a hickey. Doesn't add up. But she knew how to get to him emotionally, right? She knew Travis has a lot of empathy and he cared for her deeply, and she took advantage of that. So the next morning she makes up a little note, how much she loves him, that she's depressed and that she'll try harder. And also when, he called her out on her basically saying in her sleep that she's talking to another guy. She gives him this whole story about how in her dream she was just talking to someone else. Like, she's coming up with all these stories, all this manipulation. It's not good. When a relationship isn't healthy like this, you just got to cut it off. Final breakup. 3 weeks after that, she once again started acting annoyed and mean again. What was I saying earlier about looking at the behavioural patterns? The patterns don't lie. That is an indication of who she is. He's taken her back 3 times now and she hasn't changed. She's just doing the same thing. Why? Because she can. She lost so much respect for him. She's like, I can talk to him however I want and he's going to keep coming back for more. So she feels like she has a position of power over him. He basically got his balls in a bag and gave it to her. And this is what happens to men that don't know any better. Not that they're bad men, it's that they are misled. They are misinformed when it comes to relationships and women. He said, I told her I had a feeling she was going to want to take a break soon. She got quiet. Wonder why. I said, if we're going to take a break this time, you're moving all your stuff out the house. Well, you did say that to her last time, and you took her back. You're moving. She agreed and had her mum come and help her. I was torn because the last 3 weeks had been good. Told her that maybe after some time apart, we could one day get back together when the time was right and we had both worked on ourselves and healed. So, one moment he's breaking up with her, and now he's saying that, hey, one day we can work on ourselves and get back. I mean, there's all these red flags that she's not too serious about him, not treating him with respect or any love at all, and that she's always had one foot out the door. Hickeys, going on trips, wonder what she's been up to. So he's basically become relationship focused. A man should be focused on his goals, on his purpose, on his mission, on his career or his business, on the value that he's offering through his product and service. Women are happier when they are relationship focused, because women are naturally feminine, so they're more nurturing and caring. That's where women can really bring out their femininity. But for her to be relationship focused, she needs to see that you, as the man, is leading the relationship by you having a fulfilling life outside of her, by you being happy, whole and complete, by you having standards and principles, by you being masculine and calling her out on her bad behavior, on courting her, on communicating with her. Right? Then she's going to be feminine. Then she's going to want to respect you. Then she'll put more work into the relationship. But he basically let this woman break him down emotionally and basically tear away at his armor until there was nothing left. And she feels like, he's weak. I don't want him anymore. So she discards him. That's basically what she's been doing. So let's carry on. And she also said that that is what she wanted too, to also work on herself and all the rest. So a week or two go by. I notice she's still sharing a location with me on our iPhones. I see she went like 40 minutes away one night to some random house. So he's playing FBI. I chalked it up that she was just probably doing her friend's hair or something. Though I had a bad gut feeling that night. Well, when you have one of those gut feelings, they don't lie. He said 2 days after that, I get on my iPad and get on Google to search for something. And my mind was blown. She was still logged in on it and had recently searched for something about getting an infection after being eaten out. I had a panic attack. I called her and told her I was going to return the phone that she had gotten me because we were still sharing a bill that I was helping to pay for. She asked, why? What's wrong? I told her that I knew she had been seeing someone. She reacted by getting angry and told me someone was in my ear and that I was being lied to. That's funny how what narcissists do. They get angry when you basically call them out for what they've been doing to you behind your back. Right? More manipulation. Someone's lying to you. Gaslighting you. She told me that she couldn't even begin to think of someone else this early after we broke up. So now she's just pumping in more crap into your head. Because everything she ever did to Travis was a manipulation. Getting on her knees, begging him back. I need you. I will work hard on the relationship. I want a break when I go to the Bahamas. Can't turn her into a housewife. And now she's saying how there's no way she could be thinking of someone else after this early after breaking up. And she said that we should all agree to not see other people while we were on this break and for me to wait for her. In other words, I'm basically lining up other guys. But in case they don't work out, Travis, you better stay single just in case I want to come back in as if nothing ever happened the last 3 times. This time I'll make it 4. That's basically what she's telling him. because at this point he knows she's seeing someone else. But she still has the audacity to say, hey, I'm not, but hey, you better make sure you're single and that you wait for me. You know why she has the confidence to say that? Because he's shown her through his actions 3 times that he's willing to take her back. I finally told her how I knew about it, and she still lied and said she was masturbating and was embarrassed to type that into Google. She's a Class A liar. Finally, after a 2-hour conversation, I got her to admit she had been with someone by saying if she ever loved or respected me in the past, that she wanted this to end on the best note possible, she would tell me the truth. She said, okay, it did happen, but we didn't have sex. I told her that didn't matter and I didn't want to talk to her anymore. She said, okay, and I hung up. I returned the phone to her parents, along with some other things she had gifted to me. I got a new phone with a new number and blocked her on all platforms. Good. Then 3 days later, I caved and convinced myself I should at least give her my new number in case she ever wanted to see our dog. Or to a dog now. She was very happy I reached out and tried to play it cool by saying, hope everything's going well for you, and that I wanted to keep my word when I said we could end on the best note possible if she told the truth. Well, at least you got the truth out of her at the end. She said, thank you for keeping your word, conversation ended. Shouldn't have caved and gave her your contact info. He said, okay, so I ended up talking to my sister and told her everything. She asked if I remember the address that she went to that one night, talking about his ex, and I said that I did. She looked it up and gets the person's name who lives there, searches him on Facebook, finds him and tells me he has pictures posted on the 1st of November at Renfest, dressed with a group of friends as the Peaky Blinders. I actually like the Peaky Blinders, although season 6 ain't coming out for a while. Good show. It blew my mind because she had gone to Renfest alone that day. And when she got home that night, she immediately started to binge watch that show, even at work. We broke up on the 6th, so I immediately knew she had met this guy while we were still together. So she had monkey branched on you behind your back. That's why she was acting so annoyed. That's why she had lost so much respect for you that she just lined up another guy. And also you have to remember, this type of woman, being emotionally unstable, has no integrity, but she was also lonely. She didn't have the courage to look at you in the eyes and say, I'm unhappy, I want to leave. She was so insecure within herself that she felt like she had to line up a replacement behind your back and build a connection with him and keep you there just in case. A few more days go by and I post a picture of a clock in my car at 3:27 a.m. with the title, It's Too Early. I was leaving for a work trip to San Antonio. She sees it in the morning and messages me saying, wow, that's crazy, what were you doing? I didn't respond because I seriously didn't want to talk to her about anything other than if she wanted to see our dog sometime. She goes crazy and messages me saying she understands that I don't want to talk to her right now. Then screenshots the post of me driving with the time. I assume to see if she can see where I was. Then calls me that night, to which I didn't answer. 30 minutes later, someone's knocking at the door. And it's her. She's coming back for round 4 now. She has some pictures and everything I returned to her besides the phone. She asks if we can still talk and I said yes. She asks if there's a possibility of future reconciliation between us. Well, she knows how to pull on your heartstrings. I tell her I know everything. I know she met the guy while we were still together. And all about the Peaky Blinders shit. That is so obvious. She continues to lie and says she met his group of friends but not him that day. You already know this woman's lying. She lied to you at the very beginning when she said, I want to go to the Bahamas with my girlfriend and I coincidentally want a break. Why do you want a break? Just want a break. This girl was always a liar before you met her. When she's with you and now that she's gone. This was always her behavior. It didn't change once. That's why behavioral patterns are predictable. Every single time. He's got he knows what she's done. He's called her out on it. He showed her. And she still has the audacity to lie. Come on. Come on, man. You got to give her the good old good riddance. Carrying on. She continues to lie and says she met his group of friends but not him that day, and that she has never cheated on me. I mean, she's beyond gone at this point. I just totally go along with it, not believing a word but wanting to believe it at the same time. I tell her if she wants a possible future reconciliation, she needs to stop talking to this guy and actually work on herself like she'd originally said was the reason for the break. Well, the very next day, my sister messages me and says that she and that guy blocked her sister on Facebook. His sister on Facebook. So I knew she told him I knew. Of course. Then the next day she messaged me saying, hey, after having some time to think about things based on our last conversation, I believe it's clear we need to keep our space while I continue to heal and work on myself. What you and your sister did collectively was an invasion of my privacy, so I ask that you respect my privacy and I'll respect yours. And that was it. I replied with, wish you the best. Sorry for upsetting you by catching you lying and cheating on me. Travis got his masculinity back in the end, lads, because that's perfect. I'm going to say it one more time. I replied with, wish you the best and sorry for upsetting you by catching you lying and cheating on me. Have that. 10 minutes later, she blocked me on all social media platforms and I haven't spoken since that day, which was December the 20th. Now you can heal. And now you got closure. You know the truth. I know that was a long story. Sorry about giving you all the info, but I wanted to tell you as much as possible so you could read the situation as best as possible. I'm still torn up about this. Every day's getting better, but I just haven't had anything like this ever happen to me. And I had so much love for this girl, I wanted to marry her. I feel like an idiot when I look back on all the red flags, slapping me in the face, basically. What's your opinion on her and the relationship in general? She's not relationship material. She has no integrity. She's a liar, a manipulator. Alright? And unfortunately, you kept giving her a way in. Once the relationship's over, it's over. Okay? One thing that's always constant in life is change. Sometimes if it doesn't work out with someone, or you see enough red flags, or you get a gut feeling that you're incompatible, you have to have the courage to walk away. There is billions of people in the world. There's no such thing as the one. There are good ones and there are bad ones. And there's someone out there for everyone. And if you see it's not working out, or you lose trust for someone, or in this case, or everything she did, you had many chances to walk away from her. And at the end, you got the strength to do so. And it's now that you've had this experience, for the next time around, you know. Be very careful of the quality of woman that you choose, as I've mentioned before, and pay attention on how to have a healthy relationship. Is she moving too quick? Is she going out behind your back? Does she want to go on trips with her girlfriend? A woman that loves you and respects you would never do what she did to you. If she wasn't happy in the relationship, she would have communicated, and if it didn't work out, she would have gone. But because she doesn't have integrity, doesn't have good communication skills, and is very narcissistic and selfish, she felt no problem with going out, lining up some guy behind your back, just in case, and keeping you in the background. Basically, she's playing both sides. And when you caught her in the lie and you called her out and showed her all the information that you know what she was up to, then she walks away. No accountability, no responsibility. And these type of women do not make a wife. They do not make the type of woman that can be the mother of your children. What type of values will they give to your children? They don't have any integrity. And it's not your fault. This is the way she was before she met you. And the new guy she's with, when she gets bored of him, she'll do the same thing. In fact, next, it won't be Bahamas she'll be going to. It will probably be Mexico or Jamaica or some different lovely island or somewhere beautiful in the tropics or South America. That's what she will do. And she will go keep looking for other guys because she keeps thinking she can do better because she's not stable. And that's not your fault. It's just the way she is. And there's plenty of good women out there. Look at Travis's sister. Well, in this case, I'm talking to you, Travis. Look at your sister. She's a good woman. Your sister has the same level of integrity and values that you do. Your sister had empathy for you. She was able to see what you went through and she helped you find the truth. So there's good women out there like your sister, and there's clearly going to be other good women too. So you just have to take your time to heal, cut this woman off from everything. You've got a good support group, your sister, so I'm assuming you also come from a good family. You've got your values in check. Don't ever let that change. Don't ever become bitter. Just give yourself time. Let those emotions out. And in enough time, when you're ready to date, down the road, you'll find someone else. Because you as a good man need a woman that's good, that has the same integrity and good qualities you do. But next time around, be more masculine, lead the relationship. Never ever let a woman walk over you, right? Or cross any of your boundaries. For any of you guys watching, if you're in a similar situation, the first time or the second time, the first time you weren't strong enough to do it, when you see a woman constantly berating you, her respect is dropping for you, and there's all these red flags popping up, you pull the plug and you leave. The relationship in general, what do I think of it? What happened was pretty simple. You gave your power to her instead of you being the leader in the relationship. Men lead, women follow. But you flipped it. You gave her the position of power. She felt like she could walk all over you. She didn't respect you. You let her use you and come back time and time again. No repercussions for her behavior. So there was no incentive for her to change. And even if she said she did change, she would change, this type of woman would be unable to. Because she doesn't even have empathy. And you just basically let her weaken you over time. That's it. He says, I know I wasn't perfect either, but damn, I never lied to her, never cheated, I know that much. Well, that's the type of person you are. And no amount of her treating you like shit would have ever made you lie or cheat on her, because that is the man you are. There's always going to be good and bad people. You just have to find a woman who won't lie and won't cheat. It's that simple. He said, I was never physical with her and never even called her a name when fighting. So you fight clean. She would say she felt like I didn't listen to her. Anyways, I look forward to reading your reply, Christian. Well, I've already spoken to him. He's already given permission to share his email. And so, guys, that's basically what happened to Travis. Getting back with an ex, giving them chance after chance again, after they've crossed boundaries or you feel like you shouldn't stay with them. This is what's going to happen. They will come back and they walk all over you. Because once a relationship's done, it's over. And it's okay. You take your time to recover and start fresh. But next time, you're not starting over from scratch. This time you have more experience. You have more knowledge. You'll be more prepared next time. You won't rush into things. You'll be looking at her internal qualities, not just the beauty. All right? Don't lead with your emotions, lead with your logic and your reasoning. Right? And as long as you're patient and you stick to your values, you'll find someone great. So, guys, that's the video for today. It's been very long, but I hope you guys enjoy it. For anyone that is going through a breakup or you have any questions about dating or relationships, women in general, whatever happens to be, and you want to talk to me privately, the email's in the description. It's also in the About tab, the YouTube channel. So feel free to message me anytime. Guys, give it a like, subscribe, comment down below what are your thoughts on Travis's situation, and feel free to share my content with anyone that you know who may benefit from it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.